Paddy the Baddy Pimblett gets it done in front of his home country crowd at UFC London. The crowd went absolutely berserk when Paddy pulled it off, a second round finish, a rear naked choke at the end of the second round. And Paddy did as he said he would do. He teabagged Jordan Leavitt like it was Modern Warfare 2. What's happening, y'all? It's the Carolina Kid. I'm going to be doing a quick breakdown of Paddy the Baddy versus Jordan Leavitt, which took place today, July 23rd, on UFC London. As usual, Paddy started off fast, getting in Leavitt's face, putting pressure on him, throwing some big strikes, but Leavitt was able to create a grappling exchange very quickly. Paddy threw a right hand, Leavitt shot underneath it, shot a single leg, and pressed him up against the cage. They grappled back and forth quite a bit, and then Paddy ended up actually getting Leavitt in a guillotine when Leavitt took him down. It wasn't that tight, but it was definitely a pretty solid submission attempt from Paddy. But it didn't come through, and Leavitt was able to escape. For the rest of the round, for the most part, Leavitt was pressing Paddy against the cage after they got up. Like I said in my preview, Leavitt's path to victory was to grapple with Paddy, press him against the cage, and try to tire him out early, because when Paddy comes out at first, he's very, very dangerous with his strikes and also his submission attempts with his grappling. About 40 seconds left in the first round, Paddy was able to make some space, and Leavitt landed a beautiful teep actually at this point. He used that throughout this fight, and it was actually a very good strike from him. But on the feet, that was pretty much all he had for Paddy. Paddy threw a jumping switch kick. Leavitt immediately shot after that, and Paddy locked up actually a very tight guillotine this time and forced Leavitt to go to his back. And then from there, Paddy was able to actually secure Leavitt's back, land some big ground and pound, and then ended up mounting him in the last few seconds of the round, and the bell rang. Starting off the second, Paddy throws a big 1-2, and it pretty much totally whiffs. Paddy really needs to add some feints to his striking game. His strikes look really good by themselves, but you have to set them up, and he needs to use feints to do this. Even though Leavitt is the much less technical striker as far as actual technique goes, he was able to keep it pretty even on the feet because he saw everything that Paddy was throwing coming. After a few exchanges on the feet, Leavitt went to go back to his game plan of grinding Paddy out, pressing him against the cage. He shot a single leg and drive Paddy up against the cage, and after some pummeling and grappling here, Paddy actually puts Leavitt in a reverse head and arm choke, kind of like a head and arm choke from the front. He didn't really have anything, it didn't look like to me, but he was able to use this to land a huge knee, which buckled Leavitt to the floor, allowing Paddy to get on his back. He puts on a body triangle, and he has Leavitt's arm actually trapped in the triangle, so he only has one arm to defend, and obviously it eventually ends up getting rear naked choked for the finish. Overall, it was a good performance from Paddy, but I was expecting a lot more from him on the feet. He really needs to work on his striking game. His strikes look excellent, but he needs to set them up with feints and stuff. His striking now is not going to cut it against the top guys in this division. 155 is a division full of killers, and they can all knock you out at any time. Paddy definitely needs to make some adjustments in his striking. As for what's next for him, I'd love to see him fight a guy like Jim Miller, higher in the rankings. He's a legend. He's got the most wins in the UFC. That's a good way to build Paddy up and increase his stardom using Jim Miller's name. Another guy I'd like to see him fight is Alexander Hernandez. I think that would be a fun matchup, and it would definitely test Paddy, especially on the feet. I think we'd see him go more towards the grappling, because everybody who's fought to this point, he said he's going to knock their head off, which is not always the smartest way to go. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to see more content like this in the future, subscribe. Alright y'all, I'm out.